You're listening to Bridges Radio Program. This is a show about the creative industries, artists of all mediums, and other professionals who make the art we all enjoy. Bridges is produced at Citadel House Studios in Lewisport, Newfoundland and Labrador, and is a collaborative project between Carolyn R. Parsons and Citadel House. This program can be found on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, and in podcast at SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts, as well as many other podcast hosting programs.
Hi, Bonnie. How are you?
Hello. Good. How are you?
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Bridges Radio. It is January 18th already. Can you believe it? The year is just flying by already. We are here with our 18th episode of Bridges Radio, brought to you by Citadel House. And so how you doing, Bonnie?
I'm Korean. How are you?
Not too bad at all. It's been really busy. Last few weeks just trying to get on track for the upcoming year. You know, I have the book coming, so lots of prepping for that, and then doing some graphics and getting ready for the launch and stuff like that. So yeah, big plans.
Exciting.
Yeah, so it is very exciting. So yeah.
How do you enjoy that big dump of snow that we got there earlier this week?
Oh gosh, don't even. It's crazy. I sat here. It started around 11. I was doing an interview actually with next week's guest, and it was just coming down like steady, and it didn't end until like late that night, and it was just it was literally we were dumped on. But it was very pretty all day because I didn't have to go anywhere, and I didn't have to do the shoveling, so I just sat back and watched it, pile up. But yeah, not.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, working at home has its advantages for sure, especially in the winter.
Right. Yeah. Unfortunately, I had to work at McDonald's that evening, so I shoveled my way out. But on my way home, my driveway was blocked. So I tried to pull into the Bell Alliance building, a couple buildings up, and I got completely stuck in the snowdrift, half in, half out. So I had to call for help at 11:30 at night. Everyone was just about asleep to get me out of the snow and then shovel a place in the driveway for me to get back in. It's an exciting midnight adventure.
Fun stuff in the winter, I'm telling you. It's just, we hunkered down. I mean, we didn't notice it here in the house. I mean, the kids were home from school, so that was a challenge because I booked an interview thinking that the house would be empty, and I do it like the house. I don't have an office, so it's here. The living room is my office, and of course they were home, but the kids were fine. Like they stayed quiet, and I did my interview. But towards the end of it, Kent came home for lunch, and so I could hear a little bit of it. So apologies in not this week's interview, but next. There was a little bit of noise in the background at the end of it, but we do what we can. I was like, and he didn't know. He's just coming up the stairs, and I'm like, So anyway, but we do what we can. So I really need a space cleared away that I can hunker down and have a studio space, but I haven't got there yet. There's a room downstairs that I want to clear out and do that, and it's full of all of the junk, but the renos aren't done. So I'm kind of waiting until the renos are done. Then I want to go through that room because there are things in there that will come upstairs. So such is life. It'll be like that for a while. So we're going to keep this short because my interview went long, right? So what do you got coming up at the house? Get some stuff for
this
still
week?
Quiet.
Yeah. This week, in the week upcoming anyways, on January 25th, we have our monthly open stage for the underage. Right. And then following that, on February 9th, we have Dave Penny coming.
Oh, so you do
and
have...
That's a good snip.
Great. Well, that's wonderful. So now I'm not familiar with I'm not familiar with Dave Penny, I don't think.
Were you to a time at the old hall?
No. I was sick.
No? Okay.
Cold.
Oh, yeah. He's from St. John's, and he does traditional Newfoundland music and recitations, and a lot of traditional music as well as his own music written in the traditional style. Has a bit of a comedic element to it. So he wrote a song about Chase the Ace, which went right when there was the big, huge Chase the Ace down in where was it?
Was it the one in Goulds?
The one that I think it was the one in the Goulds that went up to like $700,000, like insane amount.
Crazy, yeah. Like even my sister was going out to the Goulds and buying a ticket on the Chase Days, and I'm like,
my goodness,
yeah, it was crazy because she lives in Flat Rock, but everybody was right, and like you couldn't get to it, like it was wild. I think that's where it was. It was on the outskirts of St. John's anyway, and
yeah,
one of those towns. I don't think it was
at that point.
I'm pretty sure it was Goulds, and that's crazy.
Yeah, at that point you have better odds buying like an Atlantic lottery ticket.
Well, there you go. A few people are winning those lately. I know Kent. I gave Kent a ticket for Christmas that he hasn't scratched yet, and it's driving me crazy. And he's just not bothered.
I know that scratched so fast.
It's one of those cash for life, and I'm thinking, okay, I could scratch half, right? It's half mine. But anyway,
yeah.
He'll get to it, and we'll get our free ticket or nothing. But yeah, because there was someone that won. It was a Christmas gift, and they won cash for life. That was in around the same area as Flat Rock or Gould or somewhere on the Avalon. So lucky people.
Mm-hmm.
So
pretty cool.
I think so. February 9th, I will not be around. I'm driving to St. John's that day. I have a conference with I don't know what workshops and that kind of thing for the board of the Writers Alliance. So I will be in St. John's for 4 days. 2 days of it is driving, and 2 days of the conference. So I won't be around for that show, and I missed the one in Christmas, so I'm not going to see this guy for a while. But hopefully it'll be a good show.
Catch him around somewhere else.
Yeah,
I think it will be. Yeah.
So, well, they're usually good. You guys have good shows, and we have some good episodes coming up, including this one. But I have booked Kevin Blackmore for an interview it'll be 3 from now. Kevin Blackmore, of course, is from the very well-known Newfoundland music and comedy group Buddy What's His Name and the Other Fellas. But we won't be talking so much about that as we will be talking about his other endeavors, including some shows, and he's involved with Diamond House down in Glovertown, which is where he's from, or where he lives. And so we're going to talk about some of that stuff that he's got going on. So I'm excited to talk to Kevin. Should be a fun interview.
Yeah.
And then I have a Valentine's Day guest coming up, Kate Robbins. Kate Robbins is a romance writer. So I thought of her. She has roots in central Newfoundland, and she is very successful in what she does. And she writes Scottish historical romance. And she is very well known in the readers who love that genre. It's a very Scottish romance. I think the people who like that are the people who like Outlander and those kind of stories.
Yeah, it's just what I was thinking of.
Yeah, there's the Scottish lore, the history, and now I know in addition to the romance, there's a time travel element of Outlander. Kate's books don't have that, but they're definitely in that. And I've read quite a few of them. She has a series that I've read, and so she's going to come on and talk romance. And yeah, so I thought of her right away when I was looking at booking people for the show. So, yep. So that's coming up.
That'll be good.
Yeah. So, do you have anything else to add?
Not really. When it comes to that romance episode, I have to ask you about you and Kent's wedding because I chuckle and I love it. So I'm going to ask you about that. But not today.
No, we should talk about that before that show. I figured that before that show we'll do a little preamble and talk about love and romance. And maybe that's a good time to tell that story. So, not
Okay.
today. So,
Yes.
everybody, tune in a couple of weeks from now. You're going to hear a really interesting. It is interesting. I sometimes am.
It is interesting, yeah.
Still feels a little surreal, our wedding, how it all came to be, and it has grown to be a bigger story. For instance, I can throw the name Ashton Kutcher out there if anybody's familiar with him, and say his name will be mentioned in the context of our wedding story. So that's worth tuning in for right now. Hmm, it's a very thin connection, but it's there.
I was going to say, well, how does he involve? I will have to find
now
out.
Now you're curious, yeah, because it has grown.
Yep.
Like the actual wedding doesn't involve him. I didn't know it at the time. It actually did involve him, but there's some stuff that was happening behind the scenes that I wasn't aware of. So, but like I said, it's a very thin connection, but it's fun to talk about it. And I'll be sure to tell you all about it on that show. And
yeah.
I am writing our wedding story as a story. I want to share it because it has some interesting. I don't know. There's a lot of things that it's like the universe, you know, decided that this is how it was going to go, and all these things just fell into place, so that we ended up going from a simple, let's go to the minister's office and get married, to this wedding that was so unique and unusual that people still are blown away by it. So, and I will tell you on the episode just before Valentine's Day. Alrighty, so
definitely interested. Yeah.
Today's interview is with, and it's a very long interview, but you'll want to soak up every minute of it. Dawn Baker is an artist and children's storybook writer from Gander. She has a fantastic new project coming up called Commander Gander Goes to Come From Away. It's a children's book with Commander Gander is I guess you would call him the mascot for Gander. And he's a little stuffed toy. Gander's it talks about, it's the aviation center, and it's a big part of their history, and they still have the airport, of course. And so Commander Gander is a pilot. And Dawn went to see Come From Away in New York and took Commander Gander with her, a stuffed toy that she was given. The town has them. I think you can buy them. And it has evolved into a new storybook through Flanker Press. So she will tell you all about that in this upcoming interview right now. Here we go. Dawn Baker. Thanks, everybody. Good morning, Dawn.
Good morning, Carolyn. How are you?
I am doing fine. I'm staying very still because I don't want to lose my
very
connection
wise.
on the microphone.
Yes.
It's a lesson in patience, I'll tell you. And so,
well, good luck.
I was I've had all these technical problems this morning with my microphone and headset.
Yes.
And then I had it working, so I very carefully moved the computer to one side and ran across the room to get the list of questions I had printed off for you. And when I took the list of questions off the printer, it slipped from my fingers and went underneath my armoire.
Oh.
And I couldn't reach them because it's like really
it
thin
disappeared.
Space, so I had to print them again, and I'm like, universe, what are you doing? I'm talking to Dawn. I don't care.
This sounds like a Monday morning to me. It's it's the wrong day.
Yeah, well, see, that's the problem. Monday went really well, so it was
there you go. It had to happen sometime.
My Monday.
Yep.
So anyway, we're here. It appears to be recording. You can hear me, and I can hear you. So let's just start chatting about stuff. So things have been really exciting for you lately, I know, but I think we're going to start at the beginning, and let's talk a little bit about. First of all, this is the first time we've talked in this capacity.